After the disaster at Stalingrad, Hitler was desperate. He needed one last great victory to turn the tide of the war. His eyes fell upon a massive bulge in the Soviet line near the city of Kursk. This would be his target. For this battle, he would unleash his new wonder weapons, the Panther and the fearsome Tiger tank. The plan was Operation Citadel, a massive pincer attack to destroy the Red Army and win the war. From the south, Field Marshal von Manstein's elite SS Panzer Corps would form the powerful main spearhead.
The Germans were confident in their technology. The Tiger's 88mm gun could kill a Soviet tank from a mile away,
while its own frontal armor was so thick that most Soviet guns were completely useless against it.
The brand new Panther was Germany's direct answer to the T-34, combining armor with a deadly long-range cannon. Hitler delayed the offensive for months to build up enough of these new tanks for his massive assault. The soldiers on the ground knew this was a make-or-break moment for the Third Reich in the East.
The goal was simple and brutal, not to gain territory, but to destroy the Soviet Union's offensive strength. From the air, the target looked like peaceful farmland, but beneath the surface, a deadly trap was being set. The German High Command was supremely confident. For them, failure was simply not an option. This was the greatest concentration of armored power the world had ever seen, ready to strike a fatal blow.
They believed they were on the verge of a victory that would reshape the entire war.
But the Soviets knew what was coming. Through spies and intelligence, they knew Germany's entire plan.
Stalin wanted to attack, but Marshal Zhukov had a better idea. Let the Germans come to them and bleed dry. The Soviets began building the most extensive defensive network in history. It was a monumental effort.
They built a defense in depth, not one defensive line, but 8, stretching back for miles.
They laid over 1 million mines, creating deadly traps for the advancing German panzers.
Thousands of anti-tank guns were dug in and camouflaged, creating deadly killing zones for the tanks.
Even their own tanks were dug into the ground, becoming hidden fortresses to ambush the enemy.
The Germans thought they were attacking an army. In reality, they were attacking a fortress of earth and steel. Soviet intelligence was so precise, they knew where every single German division was located. And behind the front lines, the Soviets massed their own armored legions for a massive counterattack.
They were not just defending land. They were defending their homeland from an invader.
They knew the time and the place. All they had to do was wait for the storm to break.
The numbers were staggering. It was a battle of giants, with thousands of tanks poised for a fight to the death.
The unstoppable force of the German Panzerwaffe
was about to meet the immovable object of the Red Army's fortress. On the night of July 4th, a tense silence fell. Both sides knew the next day would bring hell on earth. For many soldiers on both sides, it would be their last night alive.
The Germans prepared for a massive artillery barrage to soften up the Soviet defenses before their attack.
But the Soviets had one last surprise. They knew the exact hour the German attack was scheduled to begin.
Armed with this crucial intelligence, they decided to strike first.
In the early hours of July 5th, the Soviets unleashed a preemptive barrage, catching the Germans by surprise. The bombardment disrupted their attack, but it could not stop what was coming. As dawn broke, The German panzers began to advance. The battle for Kursk had begun. What followed was a week of unimaginable carnage and destruction.